Hey y'all, it's Laura. Welcome back to another Cocoa Vanilla Studio design team video, and this time we are using the Heart and Home collection. I know this is going extremely fast, and the reason for that is because this particular video has a lot of detail in it that I didn't want to leave out, but I also didn't want the video to go for ages and ages, so I have sped up certain areas of it quite a lot that I don't think require nearly as much explanation, and just to give you an idea of how the layout came together without, belaboring anything very simple. So, for example, we are doing some cutting out of templates here for the background. I have a bunch of these chipboard templates that I used some bowls from my kitchen to create, and these chipboard pieces are just the packaging that comes behind scrapbook paper when you order it via the mail, and they use this bit of chipboard to stabilize the paper. And so I end up with quite a bit of this over time, and I used it to create some templates. And because I have these lovely templates, I don't need a big fancy machine to cut out shapes for me. I have these nice large templates that I can use to make shapes in my background without a fancy machine. And I just find this to be so much faster and in my world less wasteful, because I struggle to use those machines and to cut exactly what I wanted on paper. And so then I end up cutting a bunch of paper that either didn't cut correctly, or it got jammed, or for some reason it did not work. It was really, really frustrating for me. And this process, this using of stencils and templates and things, is just a little bit more user-friendly for my brain. And I just think it's faster. I can very quickly cut out a whole background full of circles without touching my computer, without fussing with the settings on a machine. And for me, that's just the better way to go. Now, you may have mastered your machines, and whew, my hat off to you for that, because I gave up. I said no more machines. And so I generally stick to the more analog versions of my scrapbooking tools. So for this layout, I have 4 3x4 photos from when I was finishing up my degree last year, and I was attending Ole Miss, which is University of Mississippi. And I had a wonderful time on campus. It was very hard. It was a lot of work, but I loved being on campus. It was the first time in the 4 years that I had attended college over the last 10 years, 20 years maybe, when I actually got to be on campus. A lot of my time in college was doing online classes, or doing like local community satellite branch classes. And I never really walked on campus at University of Mississippi until this last year. And it was an incredible experience. I would really encourage anyone who wants to go to college and to get their degree, or to finish their degree, to consider taking some on-campus classes, because it was an amazing experience for me and I really, really enjoyed it. So these photos are from that time, and they document how Oxford, Mississippi looked in the autumn. And that was really cool, because in the area of Mississippi that I used to live in, which was kind of North Mississippi, just south of Memphis, I rarely saw fall colors. And I'm not sure if it was just because we didn't have as many of those trees. I think it's like oak trees tend to turn faster or make the really beautiful colors, and we had fewer of those. We had more pine trees and some other trees that maybe either don't turn or just kind of go more to brown rather than to bright colors. I'm not really sure if that's it, or if it was just the fact that we got so much rain. Instead of like those cold early blasts of cold air, we would get a lot of rain, and so it would knock all the leaves down and turn everything to mud. And so the color of a Mississippi fall was mud. And I can't say I really enjoyed that. It was not fun. But coming down to the Oxford area, which is a little further south of where I lived, it was about an hour south, they had these beautiful colors. They had the gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And this was probably the random bits of trees that I found while walking around. And this was not necessarily all of the trees. These were honestly the unique trees, were the ones that turned these beautiful, vibrant colors. And at the same time, there were still some bushes and plants that were flowering, because the weather goes so up and down in the autumn around here, and it becomes, you can have 80 to 90 degree days, and then it'll drop down into the 30s, the 40s, and so then you get a bit of both, a bit of that cold weather and the hot, and trying to dress for that weather is wild. But in this case, it makes for some strange happenings in nature as well. And so I thought I would document that with this collection. Now, Heart and Home very much is a autumn themed, autumn feeling collection, but the colors to it are a really nice, soft kind of pastel with some vibrance mixed in, but in a more muted way. So I even hesitate to call them vibrance. So there's some red, there's some navy, there are some beautiful like mustard tones, and these colors I wouldn't necessarily call pastel. There's a lot of pastel in this collection, but those colors definitely are not. And so I think they kind of fall more into this like muted, rich color scheme. And so this is kind of a mix of both, which makes it really versatile. And I love playing with it. So I have created 2 areas on my layout here for my photos. And then I'm going to have 2 areas that are going to be largely just for decoration. So off to the top right, I'm just creating a cute little journaling spot up there that has a frame that's covering a cut apart piece that has some words in it that I thought were really appropriate for this layout. And so I wanted to kind of showcase that little bit of pre-printed journaling. So that's something that was in the kit already, it was in the collection already, but I thought fit perfectly. And then I'm going to add some of my own personal journaling in the circle at the bottom left. But I wanted to have my photos kind of separated into 2 clumps so that you could take in and appreciate each set of photos and not be overwhelmed by having 4 photos on the page. Sometimes when I do multi-photo layouts that have a lot of photos, it can be difficult to arrange them in a way that doesn't overwhelm your eye the minute you look at them. And so sometimes breaking them into groups like this will help make it a little easier for your eye to appreciate each section and each photo individually. And so sometimes I do this and I break them apart, especially if I have a lot of photos. Now, if I just have 2, I do generally keep them together. That way they're not competing with each other for attention on the page. But there's no rules in scrapbooking, and sometimes I do them differently. It just really depends on the photos, what my goal is for the layout, and what kind of design I'm playing with. All of those things kind of add together to create a recipe of the style that I choose for each page. So for this layout, I am digging a lot into the regular ephemera pack, which is in the first bottom section here of my embellishment tray. And in the middle section are some florals from the floral ephemera and some frames and butterflies that I fussy cut out of the pattern papers. And in the top are the fussy cut clusters of florals, as well as some just beautiful bits and pieces that I also fussy cut from the other paper. Some tiny florals are in the little brown bowl inside the top of my embellishment tray. And so those little bitty ones you'll see come into play later. They're great for scattering. And yes, I do fussy cut even the tiniest little pieces because I absolutely love using them. I really enjoy using them. And so I take the time to fussy cut them out. So for this layout, I do have those 2 clusters, the one at the top right, the one at the bottom left, that are just going to function as decoration. And because I have those on the page, I don't feel the need to add a ton of embellishment right next to my photos. I don't really want to compete with my photos. And so this allowed me a little bit of flexibility to play around with the embellishments in this collection and see what I could make work and what kind of fit in different places, maybe experiment a little bit more because I had a little bit more freedom on the page. Now, if I had done a grid layout, which is quite often what I go for when I have multiple photos like this, more than 3, I do tend to go usually toward a grid layout first just to see if it'll work. And in that case, I'm severely limited with my embellishing opportunities quite often because you've got photos filling the whole page. But in this case, because my photos are not filling the whole page, they're actually taking kind of a diagonal flow of the page. That leaves 2 open areas for me to have a bit of a play. And I do really enjoy that part of scrapbooking, that experimentation, trying new things, and building up clusters. Just one of those parts of scrapbooking that I really enjoy, and this was so much fun. So that's just me playing around with also the vellum little florals are stuck in at the top as well. Those are fussy cut from the specialty paper in the Cocoa Vanilla Heart and Home collection, and those vellum florals are delicious. They are so beautiful, and the way that they pop when you put them right on top of white cardstock, amazing. Love them. So excited to use them on this layout. And so I tended to use them as background pieces and then layered the kind of more bright, bold, colorful ephemera pieces on top of the vellum pieces. So they're kind of a background layer. They just add a little bit more depth and dimension in the background. And I really, really like how that adds so much to this layout. All of these clusters have so many layers, and it just makes it so interesting to look at. And I really, really enjoyed that aspect of this layout. Another thing I really enjoyed was taking a lot of these kind of curving leaves or curving limbs that you add in kind of behind your florals, and I was seeing how I could work with their shape to add some interest to these clusters. So sometimes I curve the leaves away from my clusters. Down there at the bottom left, I have it kind of curving away and out from my cluster. Up at the top, I have it curving into my cluster. And then down here at the bottom right, I have one limb that curves in and one that curves out. Just having a bit of a play with how that directs the eye around the cluster and seeing how I liked that to look. And I think it was really fun. It was really fun to kind of build that up and see how to make that work, what that did for the design. So I would really encourage you to give that a go and try to play around with those bits and pieces a little bit. Experiment with the way you do them versus the way you don't normally do them, and see if your taste has changed. If you want this particular layout to be the one that stands out a little bit in your album because you did something different. So here is the journaling spot I decided to use. It was from the cut apart sheet, and I cut it out as a cut apart, and then I went ahead and trimmed out the little oval. Instead of using it as a 3x4 card, I just used it as the oval for my journaling underneath of my title. Now, when I start scrapbooking, I generally have a vague idea of what I want to do in the background, and I sometimes have a vague idea of where I want the photos to be. Beyond that is not planned. It's just me having a bit of a play, seeing what works, what doesn't. If I find myself fiddling around with things too much, I will just turn off the camera and sit back and stare at it for a while. Now, obviously, I don't leave the camera on because having you sit here watching me stare at the camera, stare at the layout rather, really isn't that interesting, and you're not going to see anything happening. But sometimes the brain just needs a moment to process, and that's okay too. Sometimes you do have to kind of sit back and look at it and really think about your options, and then go back in and try to have a play, see what you can make from it. For this particular layout, though, I knew I wanted to stick to circles, and I think that this worked really well to soften the look of all of these hard angles on my 4 rectangle photos. And quite often I stick to what I call a linear whimsical style, which starts out linear and then becomes whimsical. And this particular layout kind of went the other direction. And it started out a little bit more round and whimsical and soft. And as I added in the photos and as I added in all the bits and pieces, it became a little bit more linear. We have more of that diagonal flow rather than just floating in space, which would be more whimsical. And I really like finding some sort of balance between those two and find that very satisfying on my layouts when I achieve that balance. And as I'm finishing up this layout with these tiny little floral pieces that I fussy cut from the pattern papers, I'm going to be using those for my scattering and then finishing up with 2 levels of splattering like I always do. Scattering and splattering is just my reminder to myself to add in those tiny details that make such a difference in creating a polished, finished look on a layout. And so for my splattering, I will use some Nuvo drops and some Heidi Swapp gold ink spray that a friend sent me in the mail, which is amazing because I have been out of it for a very long time. So I was quite happy to get my hands on another bottle. But that's just me finishing up this layout. I did do some outlining of all of the background circles and adding some faux stitching just for a little bit more definition to that background. and finishing up this layout rather quickly. I do hope y'all have enjoyed this one. Be sure to check out the Cocoa Vanilla blog at cocoavanilla.com.au, and that is of course an Australian website address because Cocoa Vanilla is in Australia. And I absolutely love the way this layout came out. I hope you guys did too. I'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments below. These little butterfly trails are just kind of a go-to thing for me. I do them automatically if I've put a butterfly on the page. But that's it for this one, guys. It came together fairly quickly in just over an hour. And until next time, bye y'all.